Welcome to another episode of Live from Jacksonville. I'm your host, Amadeus. I'm launching this episode one day before Daly's Place makes a huge announcement. I mean, it's huge. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you who's coming, but it's huge, and you have to go to dailysplace.com to check out their upcoming shows, as they're kind of shutting down in 2026 for construction of the Jaguars Stadium of the Future. This should be the only show listed, so make sure you check it out before it sells out, dailysplace.com. I have two guests on today's show, both coming to the Florida Theater in the next couple of weeks, so I'll run down the Florida Theater shows last. The St. Augustine Amphitheater rounds out 2025 with country singer John Party. His Christmas show hits the Amp Friday and Saturday, December 12th and 13th. Of note for 2026, Sticks with Cheap Trick are coming to the Amp in February, An Evening with Toto in March, and in April, the legendary Carlos Santana on the 11th, and Foreigner with Lou Gramm and special guest Night Ranger on the 17th. That is a show you want to get tickets for. Go to theamp.com for tickets. The Thrasher Horn Center's last shows of the year include lots of holiday-themed performances, plus One Joyous Night with Yolanda Adams on December 7th, and Three Dog Night on December 21st. For 2026, the Thrasher Horn Center has country star Chris Jansen in January, Jump, America's Van Halen Experience in February, and social media superstar OMG It's Wix in March. Make sure your flip phone is activated for that show. Get tickets at thcenter.org. The newly renovated Ponte Vedra Concert Hall closes out the year with shows including Sean Cassidy on Saturday, December 13th, and Peter White Christmas on Monday, December 15th. Their 2026 shows include Los Lobos in January. February has John Waite, Gypsy Kings, and Amy Grant. John Oates in March. And Maren Morris has two shows at the Ponte Vedra Concert Hall in April. Tickets are available at pvconcerthall.com. The FSCJ Artist Series has a show coming up on Friday, January 16th that I really want to recommend, especially to any Prince fans listening. It's Marshall Charloff, or maybe Karloff, I'm not sure how the last name's pronounced, and The Purple Experience, a tribute to Prince. In my opinion, this is not only the best Prince tribute show out there, but it's the best tribute show, period. If you're even a casual Prince fan, do not miss this show. Get to fscjartistseries.org quick, as this show is almost sold out already. All right, let's talk Florida Theater. Coming up on Sunday, December 2nd, it's Dave Koz and Friends Christmas Tour. I had a chance to talk with Dave last week, and that interview is coming up in a few with a huge announcement that Dave makes, seriously. Also, Mickey Dolenz, the last surviving member of the Monkees, will be at the Florida Theater on Friday, December 5th. Country music trio Lady A is bringing their holiday show This Winter's Night to the Florida Theater on Sunday, December 7th. Now, in addition to chatting with Dave Koz last week, I also had a chance to catch up with Lady A's Charles Kelley. Here's a bit of that conversation.
This is Charles Kelley.
Do you mean this isn't someone saying, hey, hold for Charles, please?
No, dude. You know what? We tried that one time early on. I was like, this is more work than it's worth. Will y'all just send me the number and let me call like a human being?
Hey, it's nice to hear from you. Before we get into the interview, I really want to let people know why you're calling. This Winter's Night Tour is coming to the Florida Theater on Sunday, December 7th, and we are so excited to have you guys back in town.
Dude, I can't wait, man. I mean, listen, I love Florida. I've been going down to Florida beaches my whole life, and there's nothing better, honestly, in December than to get into some at least slightly warmer weather down there. So it's going to be fun, but yeah, this is going to be our first ever Christmas tour. You know, we put out our first Christmas album, gosh, it's been over a decade now. And, you know, it was just this wildly successful record for us. I mean, we've had so many families say, like, man, you know, we put on your record when we were decorating the tree. And we've literally talked about doing a Christmas tour for the past 5 or 6 years. And I think we finally just got to a point where we were like, man, this is a perfect time to do it. You know, we have 9 kids between us now, and so we were like, man, let's do it. And so we, you know, added to it. We made a second volume to the Christmas record, and it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be really fun, you know, long night of Christmas music. So we can't wait.
I've been listening to Volume 2 at my desk. It's been in heavy rotation. I wanted to run by a couple songs I love the most and see how you feel about them.
I love it.
Little Saint Nick, what a great, I don't think I've ever heard anyone cover that, and you guys did an amazing job with it.
Oh, thank you, man. Dude, that was like going to school for harmonies. I mean, Brian Wilson, you know, from the Beach Boys, you know, everybody knows how just brilliant that guy was with harmonies, and that was one of the most difficult harmony parts to like listen to and pick out and figure out what are they doing exactly. So there was a lot of really cool layering and you know, we definitely tried to pick a lot of songs that, you know, a lot of people have done many versions, but also a lot of songs that there aren't that many versions of. I think that's the trick, is how to kind of make it your own and do slightly different variations on classic Christmas songs.
Yeah, because when Wonderful Christmastime came on by Paul McCartney, I was like, whoa, this is amazing.
Yes. Yeah, you know, it's funny. We had to really talk Hillary into that song. Like, she's a huge Beatles fan, loves Paul McCartney. It's funny. Like, there's a big rift in, like, the Paul McCartney fandom. Like, half the fans love that song, and the other half think it's the worst thing Paul McCartney's ever done. And we just were like, and I was like, Hillary, trust me, we can make this. It's really at its core, because it's a quirky Christmas song, you know. It's got really quirky production. But we really kind of, you know, made it a little bit more organic. I mean, we even have a little rolling banjo going through the thing, and we turned it into more of a duet. So that one's really fun live. We just filmed this Disney Christmas show recently that we performed that song on in one of our originals, and so I can't wait for people to hear that.
I can't wait for that one live, too. I love Silent Night with Chris Tomlin. I feel like there's this Jesus revolution happening right now between country music and contemporary Christian music, and that is a beautiful, beautiful song.
We really leaned into a lot of the faith-based Christmas songs on this as well, with like Oh Holy Night, you know, Silent Night, and even one of our originals. We only have a few originals on this, but like one of them we wrote was While We Sing Noel. And, you know, we're going in the writing room. We're like, all right, let's write a Christmas song. And I was like, you know, I feel like a lot of us sing, you know, the first Noel, but don't really know what Noel means or, like, you know, the whole thing. And so it was kind of a cool, really fun writing day. Just, you know, we even, like, pulled out the Bible and, like, you know, read some of that to just even kind of get some really cool, you know, really words that meant something in there. And I can't wait for people to hear that. I mean, you know, Hillary, she made a Christian record with her family, you know, again, about around a decade ago. And, like, we've always been a pretty, you know, faith-based group, and to be able to, like, you know, kind of explore some of the fun side of Christmas, but also, you know, the true meaning of Christmas on this record was an important thing for us.
Before Why We Sing Noel, had you guys worked with Ricky Skaggs?
We see him at the Opry. We're Opry members, and of course he is too. And so we see him at the Opry all the time. I know Hillary had worked with him a little bit on her Christian record. And so anyways, we wrote this song, While We Sing Noel, and we were like, this thing really needs some mandolin. And we all, like, looked at Hillary, like, you're the one that's best friends with Ricky Skaggs. Call him up. And so she called him up. Of course, he came over, and then he was in the studio. We're like, Ricky, you got to lay a harmony down, too, if you don't mind. So he's singing a little harmony with us. And, yeah, it's cool to have someone really, you know, that's such an icon in our genre, and then also have someone like Chris Tomlin, who's, you know, such an icon in the Christian world. And like I said, I mean, I just think this is such a season for us where we're just leaning into family so much. And, you know, nothing honestly makes Christmas kind of get special and exciting again than when you have kids and you're kind of watching it through their eyes, you know, and reliving all those special Christmas moments and memories. And so it's just going to be a special time. I mean, this tour, you know, we're putting it together right now, and, you know, we've got a lot of really fun moments, but we're also wanting to really create a cool kind of flow to the show. You know, we're even going to have a little intermission, you know, because we want it to be a fun, you know, at least a good 2-hour show for people to really come and enjoy and experience that with their families. And so we'll have some really more stripped down moments, and hopefully can get the crowd, you know, singing a little bit with us and making them feeling like a little bit of, you know, like you're sitting around a little fire as well. So it's just going to be a fun night. I can't wait. And
the Florida Theater is a great venue for that. I have one request for the concert. Hopefully, my favorite song on the new album is That Spirit of Christmas, the Ray Charles classic. I cry every time I watch Christmas Vacation. I just cry in that scene. And I actually bought the CD, the original Christmas CD of Ray Charles. That's on, and it's my absolute favorite.
Dude, me too. It's so funny that song, it's like it became, you know, it's like one of those songs that kind of became slightly iconic because of that movie, but not many stations play that song. And so you really like, and I remember kind of sitting there going, why have I not heard that Ray Charles song? But only in the, you know, in that scene. It's that scene where he goes up there and watches those old movies.
Don't start, I'll be crying.
Yeah. And we dug around and found the full version. And, I mean, it was wild. It took me a while to find the full version of that song online, and finally we found it, and I was like, I've got to cut this song. And so I love it. Obviously everybody loves that movie, but that scene in particular, it really is. It's kind of cheesy, but really hits that that thing where it's like, oh yeah, I've done that. I mean, I love pulling out old videos of my family when, we were kids. And again, now we're getting to experience that, through our little mini-me's. And it really is special. And so, I'm probably going to bring my oldest. I've got a new two-month-old little boy right now. It's wild. And I've got a 9-year-old. So this was our little miracle baby. But I'm probably going to bring the 9-year-old out on the road with me. And I told him, I said, buddy, if you get bold and you get a wild hair, man, come on out and maybe sing a little something with us. So it'll be fun to see if any of our kids, get bold enough to come out on stage and have kind of a fun little moment. Because I know there's going to be a lot of families in the audience, and that's what we love. I think that's one of the things that have always been one of the greatest things to hear is when people say, man, when I come to a Lady A show, you can be a grandma, a mom, the little girl. I mean, it's just, it's a full generation show, family-friendly show, and that's what this Christmas tour is going to be all about.
We can't wait. We also can't wait to see you on the CMA Christmas special, and Lauren Daigle hosting that. That is going to be a great show.
That was really cool to be, backstage. There's so many amazing artists on that show this year. So, Jordan Davis, all kinds of guys. Riley Green's doing a Christmas song. I mean, all kinds of people. And it really is a special production, man. I can't wait for people to see that. It's always special. We do it every year, so it's it feels like kind of a second home during Christmas for us.
And a great way for you guys to kick off the holiday season too.
Exactly, man. This is going to be a fun season for us. And like I said, we've got. It's one of the reasons we added to this Christmas record. We were like, if we're going to tour, we might as well make another Christmas record if we're going to be performing all these songs. So. It'll be really special. I can't wait.
On This Winter's Night, Volume 2 is out. Lady A is coming to the Florida Theater on Sunday, December 7th. Tickets are on sale now at floridatheater.com. Charles, thank you so much for your time this morning. We look so forward to seeing you guys.
Thank you, man. Can't wait to see you guys soon.
All right, in addition to Lady A's Christmas show being at the Florida Theater on Sunday, December 7th, Dave Koz and Friends Christmas show will be at the Florida Theater on Tuesday, December 2nd. We started talking about this past summer's show and how much fun it was.
That was a fun night. It was a fun tour, actually, I got to say. It exhausted me. I remember the feeling that I was having when it took me like a month to recover from that tour because it was just so moving every single night, and being on the road with a bunch of young people. They would kick me in the butt every night. I had to come with it, or else they would leave me in the dust. So by the end of the tour, 2.5 months on the road, I was a piece of toast, but it was so much fun.
I can tell you, those young guys were phenomenal. I mean, I was blown away by the whole show. That was the first time I'd ever seen you in concert. Even though you've been coming here for years, I finally got to see you on that tour, and I'm super excited for the Christmas tour.
Well, we are too. I'm leaving tomorrow for our rehearsals. We do about a week of rehearsals in Nashville, 3 music rehearsals, and then 3 kind of like real dress rehearsals on a sound stage with our lights and audio, and almost like we're doing the show for 3 days. So that when we hit our first show, which is in Atlanta on Friday of Thanksgiving weekend, we're pretty darn ready. But by the time that we see you in Jacksonville, we better be really ready.
Yeah, I was looking at the schedule. I think we're the 5th show on the tour, so I'm hoping you guys are super warmed up and super excited to be here. And you've got a great group with you. Jonathan Butler, like, amazing, and Kayla Waters. I was a huge fan of Haley Reinhart and Casey Abrams from American Idol, and loved their relationship and their working relationship, and I cannot wait to see them guys with you.
Well, I got to say this. We've all known each other, the 5 of us. We've known each other for a number of years. Everybody is kind of a veteran of our cruise that we do every year in different parts of the world. But this will be the first time that all of us are on the stage together doing a show in concert. And it's really wonderful to have, if you look at the front line, you've got Jonathan guitar and vocals, Casey on the bass, me on sax, Kayla on the keyboards, and Haley singing. And so we're kind of like, we don't even need the band.
Yeah, really.
The band is there, of course, and we have killer musicians. But in this particular case, it's like the front line, all the artists are a band within a band. So it really gives us a lot of different options and things that we can do in this show that with the artists that we haven't been able to do in years past. And I love that you know about the relationship, the friendship that Haley and Casey have. They've known each other. They kind of came up together, so they're really, really great friends. And each of them adds such a unique personality to what this show will be. And Kayla, who's so elegant and so wonderful, and 6 number 1 hits. She's well on her way to becoming a real voice on the piano for the next generation. And then there's Jonathan Butler, who is such a, he's my brother. He's my partner in crime. He's right arm and left arm. He's just always been there and ready to go, and always has this ability to emotionally capture through music the feeling of that we're all feeling at this time. And this is a really, Amadeus, a tough time. We've had a rough year for a lot of people. It's been rough. So the idea is to capture the emotion, acknowledge it, but also turn it and hopefully leave people with a hopefulness about the future, about the holidays, and about the new year ahead. In fact, I'm sorry, I'm talking without actually taking a breath, but I'm on a roll here.
Go, man, go.
I wanted to say that we had a last-minute addition to our set list, speaking of hope, because this album that I made with the legendary pianist Bob James, a duo album, got nominated for a Grammy, which was a really wonderful surprise. And our single from that album is a song called New Hope. And so we decided to put it in the show. And I felt like even though it's not a Christmas song, it kind of encapsulates the feeling that we hope, pardon the pun, that we leave our audiences with. Just leaving the theater with a sense of optimism about the new year ahead. Because there's so many things to be pessimistic about. And we want to turn that into optimism for the future. And
I think a Christmas show is the perfect time to showcase a song like that, because at the end of the year, the start of a new year, even though we're kind of wrapping up it was a crappy year for a lot of people, it is all about that new year, that new hope. And that's what the spirit of the holidays are all about.
Well, it is. We've been doing this for a very long time now. It's our 28th year. And I do see an end in sight. We've been talking about this internally, but I can tell you now that it's going to be official that our 30th year, if we can make it to 30, 2 years from now, that will be the final year of this tour. And the fact that we've been able to be here for this many years and see families bring their kids, and then those kids grow up and they bring their kids, and it's like a cross-generational experience that is very precious to me. And I feel so grateful and so honored that people have made us part of their, family traditions for all these years. It's not lost on me how special that is and how meaningful. And so, we want to your point, when we're doing this show, really savor that moment of being part of tradition and the holidays and the music and all the bells and whistles that come with the holidays. It's a special time of year. People's hearts are just more open, and their sense of vision, and things about the future. It's just it's a nice time to be on the road. It's a nice time to share these special evenings with our audiences, and hopefully be a part of their happy memories of their holidays each year. So it's a privilege. It's been a real, real privilege.
I hope this announcement is much like a Cher farewell tour announcement.
Meaning that it's not real?
Yes. And then 2 years later, you'll be like, and we're back.
Well, it's funny. There's so many artists that do that. My friend Barry Manilow, I did his I think it was his, I can't remember what it was called, but this, the last time only. And it was billed as his last tour. And that was 20 years ago.
And he's coming back to Jacksonville next year.
It's just insane because, especially if you're a performer and you've spent your whole life, your whole adult life on the stage, it's a hard thing to give up. And I'm not giving up performing. I'm just saying that we did our Christmas tour. We got it to 30 years. And I think that's a nice time to sort of wave goodbye. I feel like, there's a lot of creativity that's untapped for me. and I need to create more room to explore that. And when you're so busy and running around and doing tour after tour, then it's hard to let that creative spirit come through. And so in this, I'm going to be 63, so I want to just try and create more room for new creative ideas to come in, because that's where I get super excited.
I can tell you from sitting in the audience this summer, and something that really impressed me about you as a performer is your willingness to step back and let these younger guys take center stage, have that moment. And I can see you wanting to do more creative stuff, more collaborative stuff with maybe younger and upcoming artists. And I'm very excited about that.
Aw, that's nice of you to say. About the summer, and you'll see it in this show as well, I love being a cheerleader for these artists. And I learned that strangely enough, I learned it from Harry Connick Jr. Because when Harry was kind of starting out, he was a young kid, right? But he had this full big band. It's like when Harry Met Sally and all that stuff. He was playing to, sold out audiences. And I went to the show because I was a fan, and I just saw him so generously share the stage with every horn player. So like 18 people on that stage, and everybody got a chance to shine. And instead of it not wearing well on Harry, it's like he was the big winner of all of it. It was a great thing for me to learn at a very early age, and early on in my touring experience, was the benefit, the big payoff of letting others shine. And I learned that from him, and I put it into immediate use in my own world, and it's worked beautifully for the audience, for the artists, and then for me too, because I just love collaborating. I love learning from and communicating with new voices, and it allows me to discover new parts of my own musicality. Case in point was the Bob James album, which we weren't even making an album. We were just making songs, and then we got onto something. But he so lovingly pushed me into this new area of my own playing that I didn't even know existed. I didn't know I could play like that. And it was because of him kind of tweezing it out of me in a very loving way, that it was just a great lesson to learn, that the more you share, the more vulnerable you are as an artist, there's big wins as a result of that.
That is so exciting to hear. I think everyone that hears this is going to be more excited than ever to see what comes next from Dave Koz.
I have no idea what that is, but we'll find out.
That's where the fun is. I mean, that's where the fun is.
For sure.
All right, Dave, thank you again for your time. I think you're the first artist I've had on twice on my podcast, which is really exciting for me. Yeah.
Well, I'm incredibly honored, Amadeus. And you have the best name for a podcast.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. It has served me.
Amadeus, just curious, is that your given name, or did you take that name?
No, I was working at a record store in the 80s when that song Rock Me Amadeus came out. And I loved the song so much, I wrote Rock Me Amadeus on my name tag. And the customers started calling me that. My friends started calling me that. And it was about 4 or 5 years later that I got into radio, and I thought, I'll just use that. And I had no idea at the time how well it would serve me.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one. It's very memorable.
It's just been, my whole life has been just pleasure. I equate it, I think when I talked to you before when we met, when you were here last, and we're about the same age, and just watching like your career while I was working in the record store. And since then, it's just been a fun life.
Well, let's hope that there's plenty more life for both of us, and more adventures and more things that we can uncover about ourselves and about what we're doing here on this planet during this exact time. And I feel like, music is probably, I don't need to tell you this, you know it and you live it, but music is probably one of the most important things that we can feed ourselves in this time of great uncertainty, when we have so many things, existential as well as real issues, that are biting us right now and asking us to pay a lot of very close attention to. And that can be very scary and off-putting and traumatic, and, fill in the blanks. There's a lot of anxiety out there. And music is that one pure thing that we can all turn to that keeps our head screwed on straight. It keeps our mental health. Going to a show and being transformed by music to add this sort of kind of hope back into our lives. It's almost like a mental health requirement these days. The music can take us out of the doldrums and take us out, not only take us out of it, but also help us reframe the future.
I agree with everything you said and have nothing more to elaborate on that. Dave, thank you so much. Dave Koz and friends will be at the Florida Theater on Tuesday, December 2nd. As always, tickets are on sale only at floridatheater.com. I cannot wait to see you for the second time in the same year.
Excellent. Thank you. I hope I'm not overstaying our welcome. But I have to say to Kevin Stone and everybody at the Florida Theater, that is an incredible place. I love it. It's a heritage. You know, it doesn't matter who's on stage that night that you go there, you're going to have this amazing experience at one of the classiest and most famous old theaters, totally redone. So you're getting an old with the new experience there. It's always a beautiful night at the Florida Theater.
It is iconic, and we cannot wait to see you.
Thank you so much, Amadeus. Great talking with you.
All right, we'll see you in December.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, bud. Oh my gosh, I am such a Dave Koz fan. I've been in this business for about 35 years, and I've been really lucky to meet some great people, but none nicer than Dave Koz. I hope you're able to make that show. Again, it's Tuesday, December 2nd at the Florida Theater, Dave Koz and Friends Christmas Tour. And apparently only 2 more years of this left, so don't miss it. Hey, our radio stations do a huge toy drive every year, and I get really busy. I'm not sure if I'm going to have another podcast this year or not. If I find time to squeeze one in, I will. But if not, you guys have a great Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year, and I'm sure we'll talk soon.